Yo, what's up, y'all? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, peoples? Friendships, business, connections. You know, it's very important to have true friendships, true business, and true connections because people don't understand this FBC. They claim that they're cool, they want to do business, they want to do connections, and they are talking about this. These set individuals is talking about it on their platforms. The ones who claim they was friends with you, claim they was business partners with you, claim they have connections. A lot of these people don't have the FBC. So if you hear any other content creator come up with the terminology FBC, you got it from over here. Because at the end of the day, it's only a few people that have true friendships, true business, and true connections. It's only a few far between that you could think of that have those type of things going on in their life. You may find people have maybe one or two, if that. To find a person have three, that's very rare nowadays. It's very rare to have people have that FBC type thing going on in their life. They may have one of the three, maybe two of the three in most cases, and then you rarely see people have three of them. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I know people personally that have all three of them. That's on YouTube. Yet you have individuals that we don't deal with that claim they have friendships, they claim they got business, they claim they have connections. And when you meet these people, they have none of that. So I'm going to start this trilogy of this FBC on the internet. You know what I'm saying? I coined that. So if you hear any other content creator talk about FBC, you got it from over here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm at the site right now, just chilling. So about at the same time, just telling you, you know, this was inspired by the Most High to talk about this because when you come across people, like shout out to Brainwave, shout out to Ringo, shout out to Ella Corrado, Mr. Rufus, and some of you guys and ladies that rock with the platform, hashtag FBC. Some of you got friendships, some of you got businesses, and you got connections. You dig what I'm saying? I'm speaking to some of you, you have the FBC. So, put it on your sleeve, you know what I'm saying? We FBC over here, repping the Most High, FBC, friendship, business, and connections. And you're going to have folks who's going to try to use this terminology on their content as if they have friendships, businesses, or connections. And when you look at their track record, as Man of Tomorrow used to say, there's none to be found. You get what I'm saying? So be cognizant. There's a lot of people that say they have a lot of friends. There's a lot of people that say they have a lot of businesses. There's a lot of people that say they have connections, and they don't have none of that. They claim they do, and they don't. And you're looking at them like, why is you saying that you got a lot of people around you that support you? Why are you saying that you have business opportunities out there and it's not out there? We don't see it coming from you. Why you say you have connections when there's no connections? You know what I'm saying? So a lot of these people be using it to get their numbers up, and I'm the type of person, like, when I do my observation, I pay attention, because when you have connections, you're going to always have opportunities to do business with people and have true friendships, because connections is the key. Out of all lettering of the FBC, the connection is the key, because without the connection, how are you going to get business opportunities and meet people that are true friends that could ship you into avenues that you cannot even imagine? You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't have those three, how you expect to be successful? If you don't have those three in the proper order, how you expect to be in serious winning mode, winning season? You get what I'm saying? So you make sure you hit the thumbs up on your way in. You might hear some commotion. It's all well and good. Just put a 5 in the chat if you can hear me. Put a 5 in the chat if you can hear me loud and clear. I'm not trying to be over loud like the people here. They just enjoying what they're doing at the site and stuff like that. I'm on a break talking to y'all. You know what I'm saying? And what a time to talk about this. We will be talking about this later on. There's going to be a part 2 to it. I see that we have Dee Dee in the house. How you doing, Dee Dee? Welcome to the platform. That goes for you ladies too, because you got women that got friends. They don't have no business. They don't have no connections. How can you have let me ask you ladies this question. I want to ask you ladies this question. How can you have a lot of friends, but they don't have businesses like you got going on, and they don't have connections like you got going on? Same thing for you guys. You got a lot of friends, yet they don't got no businesses. They don't have no connections. How can you operate with these people if they don't have a business mindset and they don't have a connection mindset? You know what I'm saying? In a relationship with the Most High. See, I didn't even put the FBCR. I put it friendship, business, connections, and relationships. I didn't even put relationships. And the reason why I didn't put relationships, because we're going to get into that series, it's really FBCR. You know what I'm saying? Because you got guys out here that don't have relationships. I don't have relationships. So that's why I just stick to the 3 that I'm dealing with right now. I know a lot of people that got businesses and connections. And yes, the people I deal with have relationships with their significant other. I don't put it there because I'm not in a relationship with a woman. See, if I put that, that's misleading the audience with Rollo. I look at relationships as dealing with the opposite sex. That's just me. I can't speak for the brethren. I look at relationships as dealing with the opposite sex because when you have relations, you're relating to the person you're dealing with on a daily basis. That's why I consider relationships. Friendships is more of business and opportunities and connections and opportunities. That's how I look at friendships. Because if they don't have that, they don't have those lettering, then what we talking about? It's nothing to talk about if you're not trying to put yourself in that situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could be on the site. What you doing outside the site? See, me, I do other things outside the site. I be on the internet. I be making connections. I be getting people to figure out things, opportunities they could look into business-wise, or I could look into business-wise with them, and I grow that friendship. And then when I have a relationship with someone, it's with the opposite sex to see what she's talking about. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm relating to her. She's relating to me. Now, you could relate to the brethren. You know what I'm saying? I call them brethren. I call relationships with women. That's just me. That's how I look at it. When I say relationships, that's dealing with women that I'm going to get up with, or a woman that's, taken, and she has a relationship with a man. However, she has the connections and the business and the friends that I could talk to that could put me on to what needs to be put on, so they could be put on to what I know. You get what I'm saying? And see, you got the other content creator. He talking about business. Yeah, he's not a business type of person. He's not a connection type of person. He has no friends. He has no one to reach out to. You know what I'm saying? So, like, my archives is so on point, y'all. You hear the ladies and the guys talking. Oh man, they amping up. They amping up because it's about to be the weekend. It's about to be the weekend, so they're about to amp it up. But like I said, think about what I'm saying. So we're gonna have this deep conversation tonight. This is a good one to talk about, and just make sure you like the video, because if I see people really interested in this type of topic and they want to hear me more talk about it live at the place, then y'all hit the like button. If you want to support the stream via Cash App, via Vimo, or you want to support the GoFundMe, where to reach out to the links. It's in the video archives. You know what I'm saying? When I talked about the GoFundMe, you already know the routine. I'm not going to be too long. I want you to, get ready for tonight. And who knows, maybe Brainwaves will probably want to chime in on this conversation if he's available, or any other people. I'll send the link directly to their Instagram. I'm not going to put the link in the chat because, that weirdo from the DMV, not the entity that's in Georgia. He's an entity too. The weirdo that wants to be like the entity in Georgia, kept writing in the chat. So the guy is crazy. I blocked him. I'm not unblocking him. And then he got his partner, was in Ringo's chat, and I called them out on it. The dude got like multiple accounts. It's crazy. And then he wrote a comment to me. I gotta remove it. I gotta screenshot it, and I gotta block that platform. These people got like 40, 50 channels, man. It's weird, man. Weird behavior. I'm telling you, weird behavior. So I appreciate you, Dee Dee, for tuning into the show. This is going to be a great conversation, and you're going to have these individuals who won't admit it that I'll come up with some great ideas. However, I don't talk about certain things because then people will try to use it on their platforms, their stalking platform, and then act like they came up with the idea, and people will support that narrative, not knowing where they get the information from. You know how this YouTube streets is. That's why majority of my content, for the most part, will also be on, members only. You know what I'm saying? Because I'll go into more debt into members only because they're paying for the service. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to the members. Shout out to the mods. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the go-getters. Shout out to the winners. So if I start seeing people viewing this and it gets a lot of attention, then I'll talk about it. Or you just want to be stuck where you at. Which one is it? Because at the end of the day, I'm not going to be stuck because you want to be stuck. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much about it. Thank y'all for thumbs up the video. I'll holler at y'all tonight. We're going to have this conversation. Brown Royalty to the people. We the business.